In our interview, Mr. Mike Ejiofor talks about the effect of fake news on national security and how it can be checked. Mr. Mike Ejiofor, thank you so much for coming on Dateline.
Thank you.
Now, you're a security expert. You're a former director at DSS. Fake news is something that's been raising quite a lot of dust lately. And some people have said there's a relationship between fake news and national security. From your standpoint, what's the relationship between fake news and national security?
Well, a lot of relationship. In fact, fake news is the origin of one of the major threats to national security. You know, this fake news originated recently. It's been there, but because of our elections that are coming up now, a lot of fake news are dished out to misinform the people, mislead the people, and at times for pecuniary gains and blackmail, especially from the part of the politicians. So it's a very big threat to national security.
With regard to the elections, how much of a worry is it? How worried should we be?
Well, we should be very worried. And incidentally, we don't have legislation to check this fake news, especially with the online media. But with the traditional media, yes, they can take responsibility. But at times, too, you see some of these regular conventional media carrying fake news, and that's quite unfortunate. And my concern is that major stakeholders, especially the online practitioners, media practitioners, should be engaged to know the consequences. Let them realize the consequences of fake news.
The security agencies, how do they come in with regard to curbing this fake news?
Yeah, I think the security agencies, with their major stakeholders, they should come in too to organize seminars and functions with the government and with media practitioners to let them know the implications, let them draw a line between national security and their own personal economic interests. Because actually most of these fake news are based on pecuniary interest. Some of them will get money, go and blackmail this person, and you just reel it out. Something that never happened.
I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's way easier to engage professional media outfits on fake news and any other thing. But if to a great extent the fake news is being perpetrated by people who don't have offices, people you can't really have access to, how can we handle those sets of people?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that it's difficult. I remember that I think last year or thereabout, towards before the 2015 elections, the State Security Service organized the Guild of Editors, major practitioners, to let them know they should be able to identify our national interest, because that is paramount. Anything you do without putting our national interest or our security into consideration becomes a danger to us. So I think it's time too, because of what we are going through. You know, the stakes are very high between the two major political parties. I'm not saying that the other political parties are not important, but the activities of APC and PDP, I think it's time the state security, at least the intelligence service like the SSS, should get all these people, let them know the import of what they are doing.
Do you think that the security agencies should take it a step further by being able to track, devising ways through which they could track some of these online media or any other persons who do not have direct contact or easy access to, just to be able to, stop them?
You know, the major problem the security agencies are going to have, I'm not restricting it to elections per se, but the major problem they are going to face is that for now, it's difficult, tracking the WhatsApp message, which is a social media outlook. And that is where most of these fake news are released, except the person writes and puts them, which is almost impossible. If you are carrying fake news, the people hardly put their names. They don't accredit themselves to that. In fact, there are also major bloggers that carry fake news. for those ones who are known, I think action should be taken against them, because there are measures too of, apart from the fake news, if you libel somebody, it can be taken up by government, or sedition. You can take people on that.
So you think it should be criminalized?
It's criminalized. It's criminalized. It's criminalized. The only problem we have is that we don't have enough laws on this social media, on fake news. But other issues like subversion, you know, with your publication, you can cite the members of the public. Fake news at times too, you see some element of truth, but the way you state it becomes inciting, and that's criminalized. And
now, social media is a big market for fake news, and clearly for now we have no regulation in place to check it. How do you think we can handle fake news on social media?
Like bloggers, you can track them, because some of them are known, very popular. But there are some who are not registered, especially on the WhatsApp. I can sit down here, generate a fake news, and dish it out. Everybody will start circulating, and it goes viral. That is the danger in it. Within a very short time, the thing goes viral, and the implications. But there are other ways too of trying to. What I would say that people should, on their own, apart from government, look critically to the sources of the information. When you say somebody is dead, or somebody made a statement, it must be credited. Where was the statement made? At what function? On what date? When it doesn't carry all these details, then they are fake news. Most of them are fake news.
I think to a great extent, if you look at countries like the US, as big as it is still battling with the issue of fake news. Nigeria might not have that kind of might, but then let's look at it in practical terms. Do you think that if the US at its level is still battling with fake news and is still unable to curb it, we can handle that?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying, that it's going to be a very big challenge on us. But in countries like Germany, it carries in position of fine of about 50,000 euro.
So you think that legislation will
Legislation is very important. It's very, very important. But again, even if you legislate and there's law for it, you must trace the origin of that fake news, which is practically impossible now on WhatsApp, for instance. Facebook, yes, your identity is there. Blogs, yeah, we have your identity. But on WhatsApp, anybody can, it's a wide space, very open, that can be abused, and it's been abused.
Okay, now finally, before we go, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo did say in one of his presentations that once fake news destroys the believability of public information, then the means of communicating with each other has been soiled forever. Now, I would ask if you agree with him in terms of being soiled forever, but rather I would ask if there's a way to remedy damage done by fake news.
Well, you see, we're still going to the same thing. I agree entirely with the Vice President, because, fake news in the social media had destroyed many social relationships, political relationships, blackmail and all those what have you. So I agree entirely with him, but like I said, there's a problem. You must identify the source of a problem before you have a solution. If we don't have the source of the information, it becomes almost impossible to deal with. And you see a situation where somebody said would be severed, another person had and that kind of thing is shown to your wife nude, it becomes a problem. And that's exactly what the Vice President was saying. And he illustrated it where some nude people he was sandwiched in between nude ladies, whereas the original picture, didn't portray that. So it's a very dangerous addition to the society.
Mr. Mike Ejiofor, thank you so much for coming on Dateline.
My pleasure.
Thank you for your mails and tweets. As always, keep sending your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handles on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. And remember also that you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Terry Ikumi. See you next time.